Morning, folks. Welcome to a new week. So, looking at Nasdaq chart, you see new week opening gap there. That's the new week opening gap high. The new week opening gap low. That's the consequent encroachment. That's the 50% of the new week opening gap. We see the candle body close at the consequent encroachment. Then the bearish candle open at the consequent encroachment, not crossing above it. You could see only the wick cross above the consequent encroachment, which is acting as a major resistance. The new week opening gap, you can treat it as fair value gap. This is the new week opening gap. That's between Friday close and Sunday midnight open. That's Friday 25th April. Then 27th April, that's Sunday midnight open. That's the low of the new week opening gap. Then the high of the new week opening gap. The high of new week opening, the low, and the 50%, which is a consequent encroachment. At the opening price of the week, we took out a sell liquidity here. Price took out a sell liquidity with the body. Break below. It's a bearish candle order block. Break below with the body. Then created a high. Is a high. The bullish candle there. Then drop. Then going back to the high again, taking the high, that's market shifting structure, change in state of delivery, high, low, then up there, took out it. Then you will see this as a breaker block. This is a low and a high, a lower low. This is the candle that took it out, 6 o'clock candle. Then create a fair value gap here. You can see how price deliver inside the fair value gap, consequent encroachment. So that's for new week opening gap, how you can annotate it to get the 50% level, the high and the low of it. Today being Monday, so you have to have patience enough to see what price is going to present. It's not always going to move that faster in a symmetric market. Monday is always mostly going to be slow, so you have patience enough to wait for your setup. This is still morning, this London session, still in London session. Go over to 15 minutes. That's 15-minute time frame. And see the low of the new week opening gap. The body will tell you the story. The body will tell you the story. Then the high of the new week opening gap. The 50% of the new week opening gap, where price delivered to, that's the consequent encroachment. Then drop to cut this low here. Have a breakaway gap. This breakaway gap can be reclaimed. You have an inversion here. This is an inversion fair value gap under 15 minutes. Between this candle, the low of it, and the high of that bearish candle there. You treat it as inversion fair value gap. treat it as inversion fair value gap. Price have violated it. This is where price violated it. First delivery, that's first touch inside the CB. This is a CB that turned to inversion, acting as a resistance here, then drop, coming back to it again, then price trade above it and close. This is a candle that closed above, making it an inversion fair value gap. Note that this 1 hour fair value gap, that is this fair value gap. BC, buy side inefficiency, sell side imbalance. Sell side imbalance. You note all these levels. I see the price reaction at the low of the new week opening gap, the body closing on it, cannot break below the wick reaching outward at the inversion fair value gap. This is the inversion fair value gap. You can see the wick reaching outward there. Then the body closing at the new week opening gap low. This is the low of the new week. While here is the new week opening gap high. That's the gap between where we stop trading on Friday on regular trading hour, then where price open on Monday, that is midnight, Sunday midnight on regular trading hour. That's the gap you are seeing here, the new week opening gap between Friday close and Sunday midnight. That's 27th April, Sunday midnight. 25th April, Friday closing price. So the gap between Friday and opening price, that's called new week opening gap. New week opening gap. We treat it the same way with fair value gap, volume imbalance. That's a consequent encroachment. That's the 50% of this gap of the new week opening gap. That's what you are seeing here. You can see the body reacting on it, then drop a little bit, move up, then drop below, reaching outward at the 1 hour BC. That's this BC here. This is the 1 hour BC. Then in 15 minutes we have an inversion. This is an inversion fair value gap. You can see it over here. Price is not really doing what I want, but you just have to study the price action and price rise on these levels on consequent encroachment. We have a set side liquidity resting below the set side liquidity. Set side liquidity resting below. So we could see price taking the set side liquidity. We have a small consolidation here. This is the consolidation for this movement here. A little consolidation here. That's the consolidation. And you have a pull up here. You see this as other block. Is high, is low, then higher high. To this last up close candle as other block. If price should trade below it, treat the up close candle as breakout. Just wanted to highlight the new week opening gap so you could study it and master it. So whenever you see a gap like this, especially on Monday, Monday new week, so you know that this kind of gap you are seeing is a new week opening gap. The gap between where price close on Friday and open on Sunday midnight. So that's the gap. So we are going to measure out the 50% with using your Fibonacci, your Fib retracement. You anchor from the low to the high to get your 50% level, Fibonacci level. And note this inversion fair value gap as price have violated it above, trade above and close. Return to inversion. That is CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Turning to inversion fair value gap because price have violated it. First touch, resisted price, then coming back to it again, price trade above it and close above, making it to turn to inversion fair value gap. So you note that too. That's the inversion fair value gap. So I believe you have understood why the gap is there. So in case of next time or anytime you see a gap like this on Monday opening, on Monday new week opening. So you note that this kind of gap is called new week opening gap, and 50% of it acts as a major resistance or support level. So thank you for watching and be safe.